All right, look at number 15. This time, number 15 is combining multiplying things with dividing things. And we're actually going to look at some of the multiplying ones up top on this page, and I probably should have done that first, but I've already mentioned 15, so let's just stick with 15. So when I look at 15, if you remember from the video, it says if things are multiplied, you can put them together under the square root, right? So I could rewrite this as the square root of 3/4 times 4/5 under one square root, because we learned that if they're multiplied under the square root, you can separate them into two square roots, or if they're already separated, you can put them together. Well, why would I want to do that? Because when I put them together, I notice that there are 4s that are diagonal from each other. So we should have learned at some point that if you're multiplying fractions and the things diagonal are the same, you can cross them out, right? So that leaves me with the square root of 3/5, which is very similar to the one we just did, the square root of 1/5. Now, when you get to here, this is like the ones I've been teaching you how to do today. So this would become the square root of 3 over the square root of 5. And why is that not the correct answer? There's still a square root in the bottom, so I've got to rationalize that denominator. Square root of 3 times square root of 5 is square root of 15, and square root of 5 times square root of 5 is 5. I cannot break down that 15 and 5 anymore. I know 15 and 5 have a 5 in common. So you might want to say that this ends up being 3 over 1, which is 3. But 15 is under a square root, 5 is not. So since one's under a square root and one is not, I cannot put them together. If they were both under a square root, I can simplify, or if they were both not under a square root, I can simplify. So that's as low as I can go. I am done. Now I'm going to have you try one like that in just a minute, but I want to go up higher on this page. I want you to try number 6, or no, us try number 6 together. This is similar to one you would have done on the video that I had you watch. And it says if we multiply things, you can multiply the coefficients together, and you can multiply what's under the square root together. So what's 3 times 5? 15. And then 12 times 6 is 72. Once you've multiplied them together, then we would break down the square root of 2 using the factor tree method. So over here, I'm going to do factor tree. I know that 12 times 6 gives me 72 because that's what I just multiplied to get them. So why not stick with the same thing? 3 and 4, 2 and 2, 2 and 3. So that's 15 times, and I have 1, 2, 3 2s and 2 3s. Did anybody find a partner at Singles Mingle? Yeah, the 2s and the 3s, and that poor 2, he's left alone, right? So the 15 stays out front. This pair of 2s goes out front. This pair of 3s goes out front, and that 1, 2 is left under there. The 15 was already out front. I brought the 2 out front, and I brought the 3 out front, and the 2 had to stay under there. 15 times 2 is 30. 30 times 3 is 90. So the answer to this is 90 square roots of 2. All right, here's what you're going to do, and we're going to be done with class. You are going to try number 7 and number 16 on your own. 7 and 16.